Good day, Annie here, and today we're counting down my ultimate travel list of 20 of the most amazing places to visit in Australia. With stunning landscapes, vibrant cities, incredible wildlife, and more beaches and outdoor adventures than you can shake a boomerang at, Australia has something for everyone. In this video, I'll show you some of the most iconic and breathtaking spots in Australia, from the Great Barrier Reef to the outback. So without further ado, let's get started with the 20 most amazing places to visit in Australia. And if you stick around to the end, I'm also going to share with you exclusive travel offers that will make your trip to Australia even more awesome. Trust me, you don't want to miss these. Alright, let's start our Aussie adventure in Queensland, the second largest state in Australia. It's a paradise for nature lovers, beachgoers, and adventure seekers, as it has some of the most amazing places to visit in Australia. First up, let's visit the Whitsunday Islands, a group of 74 islands in the heart of the Great Barrier Reef. The Whitsunday Islands are a dream come true for anyone who loves the beach, the sea, and the sun. They have some of the most beautiful white sand beaches in the world, such as the famous Whitehaven Beach, which stretches for 7 kilometers and has a stunning swirl of sand and water. It's so beautiful, you're not allowed to bring anything on the beach with you. The islands also have some of the most turquoise waters you'll ever see, which are perfect for snorkeling, diving, and sailing. You can explore the coral reefs and the marine life that live there, such as turtles, dolphins, and fish. You can also enjoy the views of the islands from the air by taking a scenic flight or a helicopter ride. The Whitsunday Islands are truly a slice of heaven on earth. The mainland town of Airlie Beach is a happening place, with Hamilton Island being the most concentrated for accommodation and activities. Getting out on the world's largest coral reef and one of the most biodiverse and spectacular ecosystems on the planet has to be on your Aussie bucket list. Stretching over 2,300 kilometers, the Great Barrier Reef covers an area larger than the United Kingdom, Switzerland, and the Netherlands combined. The reef is home to over 2,900 individual reefs, 600 islands, 300 coral cays, and thousands of species of plants and animals. If you're a diver, or even just a snorkeler, the options are endless. Most people visit the reef from Cairns, which is known as the unofficial gateway, and you can also visit some of the islands and cays that are part of the reef, such as Lady Elliot Island, Arran Island, and Green Island. The Great Barrier Reef is a natural wonder that will take your breath away. Just a 2-hour drive from Cairns along the Queensland coast is the Daintree Rainforest, the oldest surviving tropical rainforest in the world and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. At over 180 million years old, this rainforest is older than the Amazon in Brazil. And it's also the only place in the world where 2 natural World Heritage Sites meet, the reef and rainforest. It's a treasure trove of flora and fauna, with over 18,000 plant species and 430 bird species. The rainforest is also home to some of the rarest and most endangered animals in the world, such as the cassowary, the tree kangaroo, and the saltwater crocodile. There's all sorts of ways to explore the rainforest, such as hiking, zip-lining, bird-watching, and crocodile spotting. You can also learn about the Aboriginal culture and history that are intertwined with the rainforest by visiting some of the indigenous communities and sites. Next up, we have Fraser Island, the world's largest sand island and yet another UNESCO World Heritage Site. I loved Fraser. It's an adventure with nature you'll crave more of. My favourite spots are Ely Creek, the Maheno Shipwreck, Lake Mackenzie, Indian Head, Champagne Pools, and of course 75 Mile Beach, which is also a highway and a landing strip. And if a 4x4 adventure appeals, put Fraser Island at the top of your Aussie bucket list. It stretches 123 kilometers long, 23 kilometers wide, and was created over 800,000 years ago from sand dumped by places as far as Antarctica, when it was still joined with Australia. The island has a unique and diverse landscape, with sand dunes, rainforests, and over 100 freshwater lakes. And if you're lucky and visit at the right time, from the shore, you might even see humpback whales in the ocean. With a coastline that stretches for 60 miles, the Gold Coast is famous for its surf, sun, and fun. It's a popular destination for tourists and locals alike, with its vibrant nightlife, entertainment, and culture. Plus, it has some of the best surfing spots in the world, such as Surfer's Paradise, Burleigh Heads, and Snapper Rocks. The Gold Coast is definitely somewhere to include on your list, with a great mix of beautiful coastal and hinterland scenery, shopping, dining, and some of the best beaches in the country. It's a place to have fun and live it up. Of course, narrowing a whole continent down to a list of 20 must-visit places is pretty impossible. So if you enjoy this video, why not subscribe and hit the notification bell to find out as soon as I upload more videos about this amazing destination. New South Wales is the oldest and most populated state in Australia. It's where you can experience some of the most iconic and popular attractions in the country. The legendary beachside town of Byron Bay has been attracting surfers, the spiritually minded spa lovers, backpackers, and those trying to find themselves for years. Byron Bay is a laid-back and charming place with glorious beaches and has some of the best surfing spots in Australia, such as the Pass and the Wreck. Check out Cape Byron Lighthouse, the Arakwal National Park, and the Julian Rocks. And don't miss the lighthouse walk past Watergaze Beach. Or take a surfing lesson. You can't visit Australia and not spend at least a few days in Sydney, one of the world's most beautiful cities. Sydney is a world-class and iconic city, with its landmarks, culture, and lifestyle, and some of the most recognisable and impressive structures in the world, such as the Sydney Opera House, the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and the Sydney Tower. Sydney may have a reputation of being on the expensive side, but most of the best things to do are free or cheap. Walk across the Sydney Harbour Bridge, picnic in the Botanical Gardens, walk around Circular Quay and admire the Sydney Opera House, take the ferry over to Manly, explore the Rocks District, and my favourite, the Bondi Beach to Coogee Beach Coastal Walk. You can even climb the Sydney Harbour Bridge if you're not afraid of heights. If you have more time to spare, consider taking a day trip out to the Blue Mountains and see the iconic Three Sisters rock formation. Let's look now at what the state of Victoria has to offer. It's the smallest state in Australia, but has the second largest population and has a temperate climate. Let's start in Melbourne, the capital and largest city of Victoria, and regularly voted one of the best cities to live in the world. Melbourne's got an incredible food scene, some of the best coffee and cafes in the country, if not the world, endless shopping, great festivals, awesome markets, and great public transport. Just an all-round addictive vibe. Melbourne is a great base for exploring some of the other attractions in Victoria, such as the Yarra Valley, the Grampians, and Phillip Island. It's possibly my favourite city in Australia, and one you'll want to add to your bucket list if you're visiting this part of the country. About a 3-hour drive from Melbourne is Wilson's Promontory National Park, the southernmost point of mainland Australia. The park covers an area of 505 square kilometres and has amazing and diverse landscapes with its mountains, forests, beaches, and wildlife. In fact, the area is so popular, they have a ballot system to stay in the accommodation during peak season. You'll be rewarded with stunning vistas of pink granite boulder mountains, turquoise water, squeaky white sand, intimate coves, forested valleys, and incredible hiking. You can also see some of the amazing animals that live in the park, such as wombats, echidnas, and kangaroos. Next, we have the Great Ocean Road, a 150-mile stretch of road along the southeastern coast of Australia and one of the world's most scenic drives. It's a must-see for any traveller, passing through some of the most beautiful and dramatic coastal scenery you can imagine. Many people take a couple of days to drive the ocean road, stopping off in some of the small towns along the way. But if you only have time for one place, then Port Campbell National Park is the highlight. It's where most of the top scenic spots are located, like the 12 Apostles and Lockhart Gorges. These incredible rock formations have been carved by the waves and the wind over millions of years, and they are truly breathtaking to behold. South Australia is the 4th largest state in Australia and also known as the wine state because it has a dry climate and a thriving wine industry. Just a short drive for Adelaide, the Barossa Valley produces over 20% of Australia's premium wine and has over 200 wineries to choose from. You can taste wines from big names to boutiques, including Jacobs Creek, Penfolds, Wolf Blass, and Grant Burge. You're not lacking in options. And the scenery is something else too. Do the 57-kilometre Barossa Scenic Heritage Drive for some stunning scenery, such as the Barossa Ranges, the Whispering Wall, and the Mengler Hill. boasting over 300 miles of picturesque coastline, pristine beaches, delicious food, and fascinating natural attractions. Kangaroo Island is a must-visit for any animal and nature lover, with its diverse habitats, flora, and fauna. This is where you can see koalas sleeping in eucalyptus trees, kangaroos hopping around, and possibly sea lions, seals, and penguins. Some of the must-visit attractions are Admiral's Arch and Flinders Chase National Park. Tasmania is the smallest and least populated state in Australia, and it's where you can experience the wilderness, beauty, and history of Australia. Freycinet National Park is a park that encompasses a peninsula, a bay, mountains, and some of the most gorgeous and diverse landscapes in Australia. It's my favourite place in Tasmania, and one of my top 3 favourite national parks in Australia. You might have heard of world-famous Wineglass Bay, but there's also plenty more, including Hazards Beach, Friendly Beaches, and Coles Bay. These are some of the most beautiful and scenic spots in the world, and they are truly a sight to behold. Give yourself more than one day here to do all the hikes, go kayaking, camp overnight, and take in the beauty of the hazards. Let's turn to Western Australia, where you can experience the remoteness, beauty, and adventure of Australia. The town and region of Margaret River is famous for its wine, food, and surf. It's a gourmet and adventure lover's dream, with its award-winning wineries, restaurants, and beaches. The region produces over 20% of Australia's premium wine and has over 200 wineries to choose from. You can taste some of the best wines in the world, as well as some of the best cheese, chocolate, and other local delicacies. You can also enjoy great surfing, as well as caving, hiking, and whale watching. You can also visit some of the charming towns and villages in the region, such as Dunsborough, Yarlingup, and Augusta. Moving on, we have Lake Hillier, a pink-coloured lake on Middle Island, the largest of the islands that make up the Freycinet archipelago. Lake Hillier is a natural wonder, with its striking contrast to the blue ocean and green land around it. The lake's pink colour is believed to be caused by the presence of a certain type of algae or bacteria, but the exact reason is still unknown. You can see the lake from above by taking a scenic flight or a helicopter ride, or from the ground level by taking a boat or a hike. Rotto, as the locals call it, is something special. An island off the coast of Perth and a popular holiday destination. With over 60 picturesque beaches and bays and top spots for snorkeling, diving, kayaking and swimming, it's possibly my favourite island in Australia. If you make it to Perth, don't miss Rottnest. The island is famous for its quokkas, the cute and curious marsupials that are native to the island. You can see them roaming around the island, and even take selfies with them. Stay over if you can, but if you only have half a day, make sure you visit the basin, Pinky Beach and Lighthouse. The best way to explore is by bike, as the island is completely car-free. Karijini National Park is a nature lover's paradise, with its gorges, pools, waterfalls and rock formations. The park covers an area of over 6,000 square kilometers and has some of the most ancient and spectacular landscapes in the world. You can also see some of the amazing wildlife that live in the park, such as echidnas, emus, and kangaroos. Karijini National Park is definitely off the beaten path, but totally worth the effort. A place where you can experience the beauty and adventure of the outback. Broome is one of most remote destinations in Western Australia, a coastal town and gateway to the Kimberley region. It's a historical and cultural gem where you can relax, escape the crowds and indulge in nature. The town was once the world's largest producer of pearls, and you can still see some of the pearl farms, markets, galleries and museums that showcase this heritage. You can also enjoy some of the natural and scenic attractions of Broome, such as Cable Beach, the gravity-defying horizontal falls, or you can witness the unusual and spectacular sight known as the Staircase to the Moon, a natural phenomenon which occurs when a full moon rises over the exposed tidal flats of Roebuck Bay. Now let's move on to Northern Territory, the third largest in Australia, but the least inhabited. Known as the Outback State because of its arid climate and rugged beauty, it's where you can experience the Indigenous heritage and culture of Australia. If you're interested in Aboriginal culture, stunning natural wonders, wildlife and ancient rock art, Kakadu National Park is impossible to pass up. Another UNESCO World Heritage Site, Kakadu National Park, covers an area of half the size of Switzerland and has a rich and varied landscape with rock formations, wetlands, gorges, swimming holes, billabongs, rivers, wildlife, and Aboriginal rock art that's over 20,000 years old. Kakadu has it all. The park is huge, so if you visit, avoid the day trip tours and stay for a few days to hike, boat, and learn about the Aboriginal culture. And don't miss the amazing Jim Jim Falls, Kakadu's highest waterfall, which drops a staggering 200 meters. Next, we have Uluru-Kata Tjuta National Park, home to the iconic Ayers Rock and Kata Tjuta rock formations. Visiting Uluru is an experience I'll never forget. Known as the spiritual heart of Australia, Uluru is one of those places you just have to see and feel for yourself. Don't rush through here like most people. Stay a while and take it all in. Experience sunset and sunrise, walk around the base of Ayers Rock, and visit nearby Uluru-Kata Tjuta National Parks. If you have time, I highly recommend a camping trip to the outback where you can sleep under the stars. It's best to stay in the campgrounds near Alice Springs to avoid running into any animals. I promised I had bonus offers for you if you made it all the way to the end. Well, here they are. Number 1. I don't imagine for one moment that I can tell you everything there is to know about Australia. But you'll find Lonely Planet has some of the best guidebooks and resources to help you plan your Australian adventure no matter where you plan to visit. And if you use the link in the description below, you'll get a 10% discount off anything you buy online. Second, I've teamed up with Tour Radar, a travel company specializing in small group and family adventures worldwide. Their intuitive online platform lets you quickly and easily connect with over 2,000 specialist operators, allowing you to swap cookie-cutter package vacations for amazing, personalized, organized adventures designed to fit your budget and itinerary. You can use my link in the description below to check out their amazing Australian tours and get access to the latest discounts on offer. So there you have it. Those are some of the best places in Australia to add to your Australia bucket list. If you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, please give it a big thumbs up and leave a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts on the places I showed you, and what other places you would like to see in more detail. I'll have more videos coming up soon where I'll go into more detail about some of these amazing places. With that said, thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.